Hello everyone. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about the lighting effects in V-Ray for Rhino. For better understanding, we have taken the same project for which we have set the views in the previous tutorial. First we are going to explain the concept of camera and its settings in V-Ray rendering. After placing the camera position and target position, the next part is the exposure, which is further breakdown to camera parameters like shutter speed, aperture, and ISO. If you know about the DSLR camera, then you probably have the idea about these parameters. These parameters play a very big role in the final rendering. In V-Ray, you can control all these parameters with a simple control that is exposure. In the latest version of V-Ray, that is V-Ray 4.20, we have the option in which V-Ray can automatically set the value of exposure as per the scene settings, which helps you to create better effects in lesser time. So once we set the view, we will open the V-Ray asset editor and click on Settings option. Now we will set the exposure value to auto to get the idea of the exposure value as per our scene settings. Keep in mind that you can use this option even after you set all the lights inside the project. Now click on the Auto option for white balance. But in case of interactive rendering, the exposure value cannot be set to Auto option. Generally, we take the value in between 13 to 15, in this case, we will set it to 14. For further settings, we will start interactive rendering to see the results quickly. For setting up the interactive rendering, we will set our rendering quality to low or draft. Then we will change our render size to less resolution, small enough to see the details. We generally set it to 450 to 600 in height. After that, click on Match Viewport option and it will set the value for width of the render output. Then we will turn on the denoiser option and click on NVIDIA option. If you have graphic card, it will render on that. For better results, we suggest you to click on Material Override option. It basically override all the materials with one single color. Moving towards the rendering parameters, go to Color Mapping and set the highlight burn to 0.5. Click on the Global Illumination and set the primary rays to irradiance map and secondary rays to light cache. We will give you a brief about the primary and secondary rays. Primary rays are those rays which first fall on the object, and secondary rays are all those rays which reflect from different surfaces or objects and play a role inside the scene. Now click on the V-Ray Frame Buffer. V-Ray Frame Buffer is a window where the interactive render starts. Now go to the Render option, which is in the symbol of teapot. Then click on the small triangular option. There you will get the option for interactive rendering. Click on this option to start the interactive rendering. As per your model detail, it may take some time to show the preview. Right now only Rhino document sun is on, due to which you might have less light in the scene. For setting up the light as per your render, we customize the sunlight. For setting up the sunlight, first we need to see our camera position and target position. So right-click on the perspective or the view name and go to Set Camera and then click on Show Camera option. The shortcut key for Show Camera is F6. As you can see the camera in plan. Now we will set the sunlight. Go to V-Ray Lights option and click on Sunlight option. There are some settings for sunlight, but we are not going to set them right now. Just click on OK option. Now click to place the light in the scene. Remember, the position of the light doesn't matter in the project, but direction does. The moment you place the light, you will see an arrow kind of symbol, and that depicts direction of the light. Generally we place the light the way it highlights our target object or building. Rotate the light in top or front viewport to get the desired results. We have already set one of the light. Now coming back to the V-Ray asset editor in the lights panel, which you will get by clicking on the light option, which is in the form of bulb. Generally it will show you the render, a bit in yellow tone, and shadows will be very sharp. In general, we don't have these much sharp shadows, so to reduce the sharpness we need to change size multiplier, change value to 20. It will make the shadows blur. After setting the sunlight, now we need to set the background. First we will change our background with blue gradation. Go to Settings tab and click on Environment option and click on the Texture slot option. For background, replace the base with sky and change the light to sunlight, which we have added recently. Go back to Settings. Now tick the Texture slot box to activate the background. There will be a light blue color sky visible in the frame buffer. Now, if you want to analyze the lighting effects on special materials like glass, you can preserve them by going to that particular material in the V-Ray Material Editor panel and untick the option of Can be overridden. Now you can see the glass material in the frame buffer. For adding the realistic sky, we will use Dome Light. Go to the Top View. Click on the V-Ray Lights toolbar, click on the Dome Light option and place the dome light inside the scene again. The location of the light doesn't matter. We have already set one of the dome light inside the scene. We will give a brief on dome light texture. Dome light is kind of virtual dome around the scene having texture similar to natural sky. We generally use HDRI images or high-resolution images for dome light. Now we will show you the image first, that we are going to use inside the scene. This image has different kind of moods of sky. If you want a cloudy sky, then you can use the first left part of the image, or if you want a sunny sky you can use the middle part of the image, or if you want clear sky you can use the rightmost part of the image. When you place the dome light inside the project, it will ask you to select the HDRI image. We have already set a dome light. We will turn on the dome light. Now you can see the image at the back. There are some settings that we need to do for getting better results. We need to change the intensity of the dome light. Change the value to 20. Change the shape to sphere. Now, if you want to change the background, then click on the texture slot of dome light. Click on the texture placement option. Now change the rotation value in horizontal direction to change the background sky. We have already set the desired value for this view. These are the basic settings for day rendering. Now, if you want to make the same render into night render, just change the values of sunlight and dome light. Go to Lights panel and change the sunlight value to 0.2. Change the sunlight color to light blue and change the color mode to override. And change the size multiplier to 40. Now change the value of intensity of dome light to 10. These values may change as per requirement. Now we can add artificial lights to create the night render effects. The first light is rectangular light. You can place the rectangular light as per your need in the top viewport. Rectangular light has an arrow kind of symbol that represents the direction of the light. And you can change the properties of the light in the Lights panel in V-Ray Asset Editor. You can change the color with RGB or with color temperature. Click on the texture slot in the rectangular light properties and select the temperature option, then change mode to temperature. Now you can change the color temperature of the light as per your design. Going back to the basic settings of the rectangular light. There is one more feature that you can change the flow of the direction of the rectangular light. Change the value of directionality from 0 to 0.5 and you can see in the preview that light flow angle is changed with respect to change in the directionality value. There are some more features and options tab, like you can make the light invisible or make the light double-sided or no decay. For no decay option, we have set one rectangular light in the scene. We are trying to highlight the front jolly work with the light effect. We have placed one rectangular light in front of the jolly wall. When you select the light in the viewport, it will automatically highlight the light in the light panel. Now, we will turn on the light. You will notice a light at the bottom of the jolly wall. But if we want to highlight the whole jolly work, we will click on the No Decay option. And it will highlight the whole wall. We have used this same rectangular light at the back jolly work also. There is a feature, when you copy-paste the rectangular light it will become an instance. That means you can control all the copied lights with one light control panel. And whenever you want to control it separately, just select the specific light and go to the Rhino Properties panel and you will find out the option for Make Unique. This option will make a separate light control panel for that specific light. We are deleting these lights as we have used these to demonstrate the concept of copy-paste. We have used the rectangular light in the basement part of the building to highlight that area. Now we will talk about the next light type, that is spotlight. Go to the Lights toolbar and click on Spotlight option. Now it will ask you to place the light inside the scene. First place the point in top viewport, then give the radius dimension and then give the height in front or right viewport. Spotlight is in the shape of a cone and it acts in the similar way. As we place the light near the column. At first it might not show the effect, but once you increase the value as per requirement, you will see the effect. Now you can change the color of the effect, as per your requirement. Click on the Color/Texture option and click on the Texture slot option to change the color temperature. You might need to change the decay of the light to get results at low intensity values. Effective spotlight depends on 3 parameters. One is the height of the cone. The more height the cone has, the more narrow angle for the spotlight and vice versa. Let me demonstrate this. Next parameter is the circles of the spotlight. It has 2 concentric circles. The inner circle has the main light and outer circles makes it decay in a gradation. Let me demonstrate this. We have already set the spotlight for the project. See the effect of the spotlights. You can use the spotlights inside the building also. We have set one of the group of spotlights inside one of the space. These group of lights are inside the classroom to give the effect of the light outside the building. Let me show you how this works. Spotlight widely used in interior renders. Rest is your own creativity to use it. The next light we are going to talk about is IES lights, means Illuminating Engineering Society. Basically these lights are designed to provide the special effects. I have some set of IES lights. As you can see the different effects, you can use any of the file. However, it has the same process and same symbol as of spotlight. Once you click on the IES light option and after placing it, it will ask you to select the base file. You can download these files online as many lighting brands give IES lights for their actual products in the market. We have already set the lights in the replacement of spotlights. Now we will turn off the spotlights first and then turn on the IES lights. It has same properties as spotlight has. Now we are going to talk about the next light, that is sphere light. It's a kind of ball or sphere which glows. You can use inside the room or space as we have used, or can be used inside the lampshades to give the desired result. We have already made a set of sphere light. Now we are going to turn on the lights. You can see it is illuminating all the rooms from inside. Now, the next light is mesh light. In vray for Rhino, you can change any object into light. For a case, we have converted the tread of these landscape steps into a glowing light. You have to simply select the object and go to vray lights and click on Convert to Mesh Light. It will have three options. One for creating a new mesh light. Second, to apply the settings of previous mesh light if you have one. Or the third option, to remove it. As we have already applied the mesh light, I am going to cancel the command. We will set our view again and turn on the mesh lights from the light panel. Now you can see the treads of the landscape staircase are glowing again. You can change the color, temperature and intensity as per your requirement. Now once you set the lights for the view, you can move towards the production render. Go to the Settings tab, stop the interactive render. Change the quality to medium. Click on Ray and Denoiser tab. Change the exposure value to auto and change the white balance to auto. Change the render output height to 1200 and click on Update option. Click on GI and add Sunlight Sky as added in the background. Turn off the material override. Now click on the Render button to get the final production render. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe our channel and like this video to support us. We will try our best to make such more videos for learning.